You know what? I saw that and I was thinking, rah, me being what I'm about, say about, nah, not, I'll say about 7 years deep
Yeah.
being bald, because even the way I went bald wasn't intentional. It was more the barber didn't know that I was doing a little tech to keep the high top there.
Serious?
And once he shaved it all off, it was peak. Because I would get like a level 1.5 on the top and a 0 on the side. So it kept, so the thinning the thinning wasn't there. What I liked about that episode with your son was kind of like almost prepping him, because I wasn't prepped. And my dad died when I was young. So I didn't get that conversation with my dad where it's like, oh, you know, I'm bald. So
your dad was bald as well?
Yeah, my dad was bald, but I didn't prepare, and I never saw myself going bald.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? Like, when did you actually first start balding?
You know what? Like, I went thin. I was going thin, yeah? And it was just like a little, I feel like it was like a patch there. No, I think it was the corners.
Okay.
So like, my hairline was mad forward at one point, and then the corners started to fade out a bit. And then another barber was cutting my hair because my barber weren't there. So I had this young barber cutting my hair, and he's round the back, and he's doing his thing, and he's like, "Oh, you're thinning," and like announced it to the whole barbershop, yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, allow it," because I knew the corners, but I wasn't watching the back in it. So when he said that, like, my heart dropped. It was the embarrassment, because I was at 21 at the time, and when I say to you, growing up, yeah, my hair was everything, bro. Like, in school, I would have S-curl.
Oh, wow.
So I'd have the curls on top, bald fade, and like, everyone would always compliment the curls. Oh, your hair looks so nice. So like, I feel like I became attached to that. Like, how I look, that gave me confidence. So then when I felt like Rare starting to go, that panic kicked in at that point.
Oh, wow. 21. That is a very young age. Did you ever think it had anything to do with health?
No, and the thing is, because I don't know my dad's side of the family. So I know my dad's got hair. Even to this day, my dad's got hair. And I don't know his side of the family. So I weren't sure, like, where's this? My uncle's even got hair. He's only just started to, my uncle on my mum's side has got hair. He's only just started to go bald now. So it was like, I was just like, Rare, is there something I'm doing? Is it, first thing I thought of was, oh, it must be the S-curl I started to use. So I was like, let me stop using. And people would say that all the, oh, you know what, it's the products. And then when I started to look into it, I was like, if it was the products, yeah, like, men put products on their whole head, yeah, but we only ever go bald on top. So if it was the actual products, we'd start to thin everywhere. So I feel like now, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like, there's not too much. Obviously, there's stuff you can do to slow it down and all of this new stuff, but nah, at that point, it was like, how long have I got? I remember thinking that, like, how long has man got, like, before it gets bad?
It's weird, because it's like, it's almost like you got a whole new identity. It's almost like the second version of you now. You know what I mean? This is part 2 of Aaron that you're experiencing now with the beard. You know what I mean? And
I didn't even have the beard.
Oh, so you didn't even have the beard?
No,
so,
like,
wow.
you know what I had? I had the method, man. You see the thin line?
Okay.
I had the thin thing.
Yeah.
But no, this beard only came probably like around COVID time. So before then, it was the thin line. Sometimes just the little bit down here and the pointy sideburns, like. But yeah, no, the beard. I feel like the beards come because it complements the baldness now. Do you know what I mean? But back then it was.
Do you feel like because you were going bald, your beard started growing bigger? Because that's always like a misconception with people, where they'll say, that you ain't got hair on the top, so, and you've been blessed with a beard. But then I'm like, I've seen them that have hair on top and have hair as a beard. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, is this half a blessing? Like, what's going on?
I feel like to me, like, when I was in school, I remember I had like my best friend was Turkish. He was like 13, like, and he was like full beard at that age, innit? Like, and he kind of taught me how to shave. And I feel like I always remember having a beard, but it was more, I just wouldn't I wouldn't see the potential in it, because I'm going barbers every week. So I'm getting a trim every week, and I'm trimming down here every week. So I would never see, Rare, how far can this go?
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Now that you say it like that, it's one of them ones where it's the timing of things as well. Because obviously back in the day, having a beard wasn't a big thing. And now, like, because I felt like when I started growing my beard was more like when the look of being bald and having a beard was changing. So you had that whole, what celebrities that people used to compare me to when I went bald? Terry Crews.
Oh,
he's one.
snap. Okay.
I used to get called him. And like, it was borderline bullying, but I didn't see it at the time. I would just laugh it off.
Yeah.
Like, I used to always say I got a middle part in. It's quite wide. So, like, how did you deal with the whole, like, reaction from people? You know what I mean?
You know what it was? Like, at first, so obviously I started noticing I was thinning. And then I became more aware of it. So, hats, everything would be, because I'm trying to cover it. I'm not trying to let no one see what's going on. And I feel like you'll go barbers, but you see when it starts to grow back after a few days in it, and you can then see it even more. So I was like, I got to wear hats. So my confidence took a massive hit straight away. And I remember, like, any outfit needed a hat to go with it. Even if it didn't suit the outfit, it was like, I need a fitted hat, I need a beanie hat, I need something to just cover up. And I remember there were times, bro, where it was hot and I shouldn't be wearing a hat, but I'm wearing a hat because I'm not confident in... I feel like, if I can notice it, that's all people are looking at, is where your hairline's going back and you're starting to bald. So, yeah, like, originally, confidence took a massive hit. And it wasn't until I started looking at celebrities. Like, for me, I started looking at Common. It was the light-skinned celebrities. So for me, it was like Common. I remember Stone Cold Steve Austin, Goldberg, Jason Statham, Vin Diesel. All of these, man, I was like, you know what? They're all bald, yeah? The girls love them. And they just don't look like they care. And that started to give me a bit more confidence.
I know you're enjoying this conversation, but I'm here to remind you that this episode is sponsored by Goodman Beard Oil, plant-based, chemical-free beard oil to soften and moisturize your facial hair. Order now, goodmanfactory.com, and use code GPOD1 and become a good man today.
The confidence took a big hit, and I was doing stuff like wearing hats all the time and so on. So, and the only reason why I kind of stopped wearing hats was because, one, I learned how to cut my hair, and two was you start going to these over 25 events and you can't wear a hat inside the club.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, do I have to keep... And then obviously I was broke, so learning how to cut hair was important for me because you already know the prices of haircuts. Like, I was still paying what it was, so I think it was probably £15.
Even though you've got less hair now, you're still paying.
Like, why am I... Like, I'm like, nah, you lot are bumping me. They looked at me so happy, like, oh, yeah, come.
Easy to minute.
Yeah, come. Yeah, that's it. It's easy 15 quid compared to doing someone else's fade.
Yeah.
So, like, in regards to, like, learning how to cut your hair, where did that start?
Bro,
and what made you start? Because obviously, for me, it was financial.
Bro, I will tell you. So I went to my barber's, and there was a good couple years where he was blending parts of the top back down and the side, so it would look like everything was one level, but that would only last 3-4 days, because then when it starts to grow back, it's uneven, and so then it was like, right, I'm going barbers more often. And then I remember going to him, and I said, yeah, just try and do this. I can't remember what I asked, but he said, there's nothing I can do. He said, like, I can't do what you're asking, like, it's time. Basically, it's time, innit? So I was like, I thought I had a bit longer. And like, I was like, let's just do it, innit? Like, let's just do it. So I remember him putting the foam on my head and then just picking it off, yeah? And I was like, it's not that bad, yeah? I was like, I'm all right. I was like, I'm all right.
Hold on. So what, for your hair, you actually use blade?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So this is what I'm saying. So he done that, and I was like, it don't look too bad. But then within 2-3 days, it's now growing back. And I started to panic, yeah? And I was
Well,
like...
you thought it was going to last forever?
No, it was more like, damn. Like, whereas when you've got hair, you can go barbers every week or 2 weeks, yeah? When I balled it off, after that, that's why I've left it as it is now, because you can see where the sides are growing and there's nothing on top. So I was like, I can't afford to go barbers every 3 or 4 days. I can't afford that.